Hi, I'm Stephanie Cohen. I'm the medical director at San Francisco City Clinic, and I'm here with Dr. Oliver Bacon. And we're going to do a role play today demonstrating how we do a basic risk assessment and some initial PrEP counseling. Hey, hi.
Hi.
Are you Oliver?
I am.
Hey, Oliver, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Nice to meet you. One of the docs here at City Clinic.
Okay.
So you're here today for an STD screen, is that right?
Yeah, I try and get screened pretty regularly, and I also know that you guys do PrEP here, and I'm kind of interested.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me a little bit about your sex life. What's been going on for you in the last few months? Like, you know, how many partners have you had? Have they been men and women? Just men?
Okay.
What kind of sex do you typically have?
Okay. So I'm gay. I only have sex with men. I have a primary partner I've been with for a long time, and we have an open relationship. And our agreement is that we don't use condoms with each other, but we use condoms with outside partners. Mm-hmm. And how many partners have you? In the last how many months?
Maybe in the last 3 months.
Okay. I've probably had, including him, I've probably had 3 or 4 partners. Mm-hmm. And if I've had any anal sex with them, it's been with a condom in the last 3 months. But I know that over the course of my sexual life, I haven't always used a condom for anal sex, and that concerns me a little bit. And I'm versatile, like top and bottom, so obviously one is more risky than the other. But as much I would like to think I'm someone who uses condoms all the time, but I know that I don't use condoms all the time. I say I use them most of the time.
Are there any particular situations where you find it's especially difficult to use condoms?
If there's alcohol involved. I don't use party drugs. I don't use that. That's just not me. But I definitely sometimes get drunk and, like, unsurprisingly, my inhibitions go down.
Yeah.
And then occasionally, and this is actually a little embarrassing, if I know someone and quote-unquote trust them, it's easier not to use a condom. And I know, like, I've read a bunch of stuff, I know that doesn't make any sense, because people often don't know that they have HIV, and so trust doesn't really protect you.
Yeah.
But, so anyway.
Okay. And have you ever had an STD? I just been flipping through your chart.
I have had.
Okay.
I have had. I had chlamydia.
Okay. All right. And you said you came in because you had some interest in PrEP. What have you heard about PrEP?
That it's very effective. That it seems safe. It doesn't seem to have very many side effects. A lot of people are starting to use it. Like, I feel like a year ago, not that many people were using it, and now it's all over the place.
Yeah. Have you talked at all to your partner about the fact that you're thinking about using PrEP?
Yeah.
And does he have how did he react?
He was generally in favor of it. And he's actually thinking about it too. I think we're both a little worried that we're going to go on PrEP and start doing all sorts of wild things that we don't normally do, but who knows?
Okay. Well, it sounds like from what you've told me, PrEP is a very reasonable thing for you to consider. As you said, it is highly effective. The most important thing to making it work is that you take it. So we know that right now the only regimen that's been proven to work is when the PrEP medication is taken every day. And the better you do at getting close to taking it every day, the more protected you are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would be a challenge for you at all? Have you ever taken medication on a daily basis?
I have.
Okay.
And it's not been difficult.
Are you taking anything now, currently?
Right now, no. But there have been periods of time in the past where I've taken something every day.
Okay. Well, what we'll do today is we'll do a regular STD screening. I'll do a quick exam. We'll get an HIV test, and we're going to check on your kidney function because we know that the medication that we use for PrEP is occasionally can irritate the kidneys, and we'll check you for another virus called Hep B.
I was vaccinated. And yeah.
Okay, great. Well, we'll double check just to make sure that's great, and then we will talk a little more about Truvada, and I'll give you some more information about it and how it works, and we'll help you figure out how you can access it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Great.
Thanks.
Okay, so I think we just wanted to debrief for a moment that interaction. So what I found was I was talking to you, Oliver, and you were a young MSM, a young man who has sex with men, and you were having condomless sex. I know you were definitely having condomless sex with your primary partner, and occasionally, although not recently, according to what you said, with casual partners. And so just by that alone, according to the CDC criteria, that puts you into category of being at elevated risk for acquiring HIV and having an indication for PrEP. The rest of what I was doing was just try to get a sense of who you were as a person and kind of what your own sense, what your own risk perception was. And you had a pretty good sense, I think, of all that. You had a pretty high level of knowledge and a lot of literacy around HIV risk. You know, what I didn't do, I think, was really ask you what your HIV prevention strategy is. And that's something that I think is a useful component and probably was left out of that interaction. But I think you were very open and sharing, and I was able to learn a lot about you without asking too many questions. What did you think?
It was very easy to talk to you. I liked that you seemed to get most of what you needed from the initial question regarding sort of what kind of sex I've been having in the last X number of months, and it didn't feel like I was being put through kind of a standard counseling algorithm. Like, I think you got what you needed to get from a pretty open-ended question, and I actually bet you could reconstruct or infer what my prevention strategy is from the answers that I gave.
That's true.
And we moved pretty quickly to how to move forward and what PrEP involves. So, but it didn't take very much time.
No, I think that's true. It was
and I didn't feel like I was being hammered over the head with like, do this, do this, do this, do that, do that, do that, which is good.
Yeah. I guess another point that I generally like to make that I think I didn't make in that scenario was at some point reminding someone who's initiating PrEP that PrEP will not protect you from other STDs, kind of having that conversation. And